Welcome to Okaloosa Today, local news and information. Connecting the communities of Footwall Beach, Destin, and Okaloosa County.
Welcome to the Okaloosa Today show with news about the city of Destin, the city of Fort Walton, and of course Okaloosa County. I'm your public information officer from Okaloosa County, and we have a little bit of sun today, a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, but a lot of Christmas cheer. We also have a guest with us today. It is Commissioner Don Amons, who has been the chairman of the Board of Okaloosa County Commissioners this year, and we normally do a wrap up in December of that year and sort of let folks know out there what we've been doing all year. So it has been an interesting year with a lot of changes done. We've had interim directors, we've had retirements, we've had some new commissioners, new county administrator, and progress. You want to talk about that?
Well, it's a new day in Okaloosa County, and we continue to build partnerships with all the cities and so forth. We have a lot of growth opportunities in our community. You know, our unemployment is down compared to most places. There's always going to be a giving community here in Okaloosa County. The county continues to work with the different charitable organizations and so forth to make Christmas a better season.
It is that time of year.
And you know, I think things are going really, really well. We don't live in a perfect world, but I think we've made a lot of positive changes, and I think the public should be happy. And if they're not, I'm sure they won't hesitate calling me and let me know.
And I think they don't see a lot of that work that goes on in the background, so that's very good. And we've actually been able to work on a lot of items on our strategic plan, which if you want to see that plan, of course, you can see it on our website anytime. But I know that we did sort of reinvent that again and make some changes to it this year, and I've already started tackling some of those issues. Also, we recovered a lot of the TDC funds that were stolen, and I feel we have a good opportunity in tourism for 2014. It's going to be a great year. We also have some new branding with the tourism. It's going to be, they're referring to our area, which I love, as the heart of the Emerald Coast. But I think a lot of great opportunities ahead, and you want to talk a little bit about that? I know you talked about growth, and there's certainly a lot of tourism opportunities as well, Don.
There is. You know, we have the Veterans Park coming on board on Okaloosa Island.
And everything else out there.
The other businesses, the Wild Willies and so forth, they're all looking at opening in March of 2014. We have the income coming in from that annually to pay for the park rather than using taxes. The additional boat ramps and boat parking by the conference center, which with all the boats we have in Okaloosa County, you know, that'll be awesome to have additional places to launch your boats. And I think we're gearing up for the summer. I think we're going to have an awesome summer tourist-wise and so forth, and I'm really looking forward to the accomplishments in that area.
And we always like to remind people too, as whenever we're talking about tourism, is that those bed tax dollars and those tourist taxes are paid by visitors who stay in vacation hotels, condos, and homes. So again, there's always a little bit of confusion about that for some people who don't deal with this every day like we do, and we just want to mention that again. They pay for more than just the advertising, right, Don? That
yes.
money, those tourist taxes.
It pays for your lifeguard services, pays for your some of your beach restoration. It pays for you know, some of the emergency personnel. So it's a good thing.
And for the Turtle Watch program, which is a state mandate. I mean, a lot of these things that we have to do too are mandated by our state. So again, it helps pay for that Turtle Watch program, which is a great thing. And you know, you mentioned Veterans Park. There's another park, a new park that we just opened that is pretty much a milestone, wouldn't you say?
The Stillwell Park Phase 2 just opened. We had a ribbon cutting there a few weeks ago. As many of you know, it used to be the old sewer plant site off of Racetrack Road. And now that's a 9-acre park out there, and we'd love for people to get out there, enjoy it, have birthday parties and so forth. And it's revitalizing the neighborhood. There's a lot of houses that are being made over and so forth, and it's like a shot in the arm to the community, and it's really helping that whole environment.
It is, and the day we did the ribbon cutting, there were some kids out there on the bike trails, which I think I have photos of, and that was kind of neat. It's like that's what it's all about when we had those kids out there actually using the park.
Well, I think it's about keeping promises. Years ago, the boards said that, you know, if we were ever able to move that sewer plant, we would turn it into an open area and parks. And I think it's just one more time where the board, no matter who's actually on it, takes the time to honor those promises made by prior times.
Yeah, historic accomplishment there. Actually breaking down the Gardner sewer plant and then putting in that park. So significant accomplishment there for our Board of County Commissioners and those departments involved. Another responsibility of the county that a lot of people don't think about is space needs. We have to provide not only space for the Board of County Commissioners and the 16 departments that come under them, but also other elected officials and the health, you know, some of the health department, veteran services, some of those things that you wouldn't think. So let's talk about that. We've saved $55,000 in rent this year, and we're working to save a little bit more next year. A lot more.
A lot more. What we're trying to do right now is we ended up buying out the reverter clause at the old annex in Shalimar, and basically every place that we pay rent to right now, we're going to move into a new building on that site. That'll save us approximately $1 million a year in rent, and we'll apply that to the debt note. So we'll have renovations to the courthouse, the county seat in Crestview, and we'll have some a new building there in Shalimar for the admin building, and then we'll have a sheriff's office addition put on to their building as well, and we'll run it all under one loan. And you know, in approximately 10 to 12 years, hopefully that will be paid for, and then we own our buildings, and it'll also save us money because it's cheaper to insure a building that you own than what you rent.
Right, and the county really doesn't have that much debt, so this is a really positive thing for the community. We are looking at different ways to honor Colonel Bud Day, of course, our Medal of Honor recipient and POW that passed this year. So, you know, we want to honor him in some way with that building, but we haven't come up with how we're going to name that or how we're going to do that, and we certainly welcome input from the public.
Right, if anybody from the public has a way to do it, we talked about calling it Veterans Building in honor of Colonel Bud Day. It's been talked about Colonel Bud Day building, but you know, the public's welcome to submit any suggestions that they might believe would represent Colonel Day in the county in a good way, and we're open for suggestions.
And that's going to provide a safe, convenient, and quality customer service for our residents there in that location. We can be thankful for no storms this year.
Yes, I'm very thankful.
Emergencies do occur. Hopefully we won't have another Brooks Bridge incident where it's hit, but we handled that as well this year, did we not? So our Water and Sewer Department and our Public Works Department all worked together on that project and getting that water supply back out to the island. So that was that was our emergency this year. It seems like there's always at least one, right?
Right.
that we have to talk about. Okay, also this year we had, working with the state, working with the federal government, and of course working with our own gas tax dollars, we were able to work on some of the roads in the area and make some improvements there, significant improvements. Some of them are still in progress, Don. I guess we'll start with some of the road paving by our crews. Plimpton Road, one of the largest projects for Public Works. Right,
Buck Ward Road, Plymouth Road, a lot of roads in the north end was done. We also partnered with the state, what they call rural area road funding. We got some roads paved up around the Milligan area and so forth. We partnered with the city of Laurel Hill. They provided the materials, and we helped pave some roads in the city of Laurel Hill with their help as well. We're currently working with the state. Hopefully it will get approved to 6-lane Highway 98 that from Walton County to Airport Boulevard in Destin. We're looking at some improvements on Commons Boulevard. There's an item coming before the TPO this afternoon, the 5-year plan, which is looking at the state putting in some matching dollars with the county to redo PJ Adams intersection in Crestview. which will help the traffic flow around Crestview, and that was a nice thing to happen, and hopefully 123.
Huge improvement at 123, and right there where the 7th Special Forces gate and the Duke gate is.
Right, and
that was completed this year.
Eventually it'll be 4 lanes, and there'll be an overpass at the north end of 123 and 85, hopefully before the 2015 fiscal year comes into play. And then, as most folks know, that Travel 98 west of Hurlburt, the Cody Avenue interchange, they're making really good progress. All the utilities have been moved and so forth, and they're working on the outside lanes right now. And I would just ask people to be patient and remember that things are going to happen. Hurlburt, my understanding is they're trying to stagger the military release times and so forth, and it's really a true partnership between the state, Hurlburt, and the county on making that happen.
And even getting those federal dollars. So yeah, I mean, look at 123 flyover, and we barely remember the pain, how painful it was in the process, but now it's such a great asset, and so nice to be able to hop on that and go on up to Crestview. So these are all positive changes, and we have to work with our local, state, and federal governments to get the money to do these. So there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes in making these things happen, and we appreciate all the partnerships in those types of projects, because otherwise we couldn't do them. Another thing is the road. We usually we replace 2 timber bridges each year. I think that's a state mandate. Whenever we lose a timber bridge, we have to replace it with concrete, so we've been sort of proactive in that. And our Public Works department, I can't say enough good things about the work that they do, and I think Reeves Bridge is one of the recent photos that we had.
Right. They do so much with so little. I mean, it just, when you have awesome employees, you get a lot of bang for your buck, and the return on our investment is just fantastic. Our employees just give 110% every day, and I can't say enough good things about them.
And they improve a lot of stormwater along the way. I mean, we've had some sinkholes this year, and so far we've attacked those on an emergency basis, and when we do road improvements, but hopefully we can do some more stormwater.
And the other thing that we're going to try to do, as most people know, the gas tax passed the board, and as they fund roads and road projects with the gas tax, they're going to actually put up a sign in that general area, so when people see the improvements taking place, they can see where the gas tax is being spent, so we're accountable to the public.
Well, as we wrap up this year, Don, any final thoughts on looking back?
I think we've learned a lot over the last few years. I know I've learned a lot more patience. I can tell you that we're a stronger county based on everything that's happened, and even the counties in the state have learned a lot from what we've all been through. So I think moving forward, I think that the board will consider to make the best decisions they can based on the facts before them. I'm glad that we continue with the private-public partnerships that we have. The cell tower in Niceville, that ended up working out, and that was important to those residents. But I think as long as we take our time on those decisions we can to make it the best win-win we can, I think the county will continue to flourish, and I think we have an awesome community, and I just look for more good, positive things as time goes on.
And we can only do that with the involvement of our residents and our community. I mean, it certainly isn't just the two of us sitting here. We do have a great community, like Commissioner Amon says, and I think we have some wonderful parks. I think the heart of the Emerald Coast here is a beautiful place to live and work, and this scenery we have today is just one example, and some of the other ones that we have talked about, and then we're going to be coming up on our centennial in 2015, so we want to remind everybody to get involved in that. And we certainly want to thank you for joining us today, Commissioner Amons, and for your service this year as the chairman. And we want everybody to attend the time capsule sealing ceremony, which is going to be on December the 14th It's going to be part of the Yule of Yesteryear that is at the Heritage Museum of Northwest Florida in Valparaiso, and we are looking forward to that. We have had a time capsule committee that has worked really hard on this, so we hope that y'all will turn out for that. That time capsule is going to be sealed 100 years. However, there's going to be an exhibit with all the contents that you can actually see when you go to the museum. So that is, again, that's the Yule of Yesteryear and our Viva Florida celebration. So please tune into that. Also, I want to remind citizens that we do have a 311 Citizens Information Line. You can call that number anytime and let us know, talk to any department directly. And you can also go online to OkaloosaFL.com and actually email us about any of your concerns, or just if you have a question about any of our departments, we'll make sure we will email you back. So a great way to interact directly with the county and all its departments. So please utilize that 311 Citizens Information Line. And then I will close by saying Happy New Year to everyone for 2014. Thanks to Cox. Thanks for your support of the Okaloosa Today show. And Doug Rayner follows with news on the City of Destin.